So if rock climbing is all about climbing up a mountain so that when you get to the top there is a beautiful woman there waiting for you, serenading you with a beautiful song and doing a bunch of beautiful cloth choreography, then I think I'm about to take up rock climbing. Baahubali The Beginning, released in 2015 and is directed by S.S. Rajamouli, who has also directed the sequel to Baahubali, Baahubali 2 The Conclusion, and the best movie of 2022, RRR. And that's the main reason why I'm watching this movie, is because I was just so enthralled with RRR that I wanted to just dive into this whole Tollywood thing, because I've never experienced it before. I don't know what the formulas are. I don't know who the major actors and actresses are. So here we are, I'm diving into it and diving into Rajamouli's filmography, and this is the most recent one. It was another epic, a two-part epic that we'll be covering next time. We'll be covering the sequel, but I wanted to check out more of Indian cinema because I gotta say I'm in love. And this movie is starring Prabhas, Rana Daggubati, Anushka Shetty, Ramya Krishna, Sathiraja, Nessar, and Tamana. That's right, I saved her for last because I wanted to do that beat, because I gotta say, I think I'm in love. Baahubali is an epic tale taking place in the kingdom of Mahishamati and the little baby boy who was proclaimed to be king of the kingdom. But some other people in power had different plans for the child, so the baby is taken to save his life and is found at the foot of this giant-ass mountain waterfall thing by a couple of commoners. Well, as this baby grows up to be the strongest man I've ever seen in movies, he climbs to the top of the mountain and realizes that the kingdom is in turmoil, falls in love with a beautiful warrior princess, and tries to right all the wrongs in the kingdom. Now, this is only part one of this epic tale. This is Baahubali The Beginning, which I have to say, the subtitle is the best subtitle I have ever seen in the history of movies. More franchises need to use these type of subtitles. You know, Captain America, The Beginning, Captain America, The Conclusion, Baahubali, The Conclusion. Ben-Hur, this movie should probably be split into two different things because it has a big beginning and a very long conclusion. But this movie has everything that you want in a sword and sandals epic journey like this. We start very early on in the legend and in the story of this character as a baby who is being carried across the river, and the woman who's carrying him is going to sacrifice herself to save him because he's the important one. He's the one that Shiva has chose to be the ruler and the savior of the kingdom. And then we see his journey into manhood and just how freaking strong this guy is. I swear Savudu, who later turns out to be Baahubali Jr., has no flaws. Like, none of the Baahubali characters in this movie have any flaws. They're just kind of perfect in every single way. Which, I will be honest, it's a little hard to connect with a character like that who has no character imperfections, especially this version. I think when we get to the older version, the original version of Baahubali, when we go to the flashback epic war scene, we see a little bit of hubris there. I'm only anticipating that we're probably going to see much more hubris in the second part. That's when we get the story about how he was killed. But here, Prabhas is very noble in his stature and how he carries himself. His chest is completely out, and whenever he's in a couple of those ballad songs that we see him, all he's doing is just standing out like this. Like any classic hero pose that you can think of, he does in this film. And his hair has all this product and is perfectly feathered out and it's just blowing in the fans. Oh, he looks fantastic. You want to talk about who's looking fantastic though, look no farther than Tamana, which I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, but my god, is she gorgeous. And she has a great character art in here too. Yes, she is taken by this mysterious man who shows up and, unbeknownst to her, tattoos her a lot, which, I mean, tattoos are forever, brah. You gotta stand back and you gotta get consent before you do that, dude. Even though it is a little intriguing, I guess. But she's also by far the best warrior that this whole group of rebels has to go out and save the queen who is enslaved by the bad king, the brother king, who we'll find out in the second one, I'm sure, is just an evil dick, because in here he presents himself as being a giant dick. But because she is a woman in this group of rebels, she has to do that much more to get any favor or get any views on her, saying like, hey, you know, I'm the best here, and regardless of who I am, regardless of if I have tattoos, you need to go with me because I'm the one who can get the job done. I love that. Now, one of the many things that I loved about the film RRR was its visuals and its choreography and its use of stunts and the battle sequences, and you can see where a lot of the things that we saw in that movie got its start from in this film, because Rajamouli knows how to direct a battle scene, and we have a classic, epic sword and sandals battle in the end of this film. I was actually very shocked at how much time we spent in the flashback sequence of seeing the original Baahubali and his stepbrother they're competing for the kingdom. They're both like completely equal, except for the asshole guy is like, oh, I'll kill the commoners to get what I want, I don't care, and Baahubali is the nice one, and he will save the commoners to lead the people. That's why the people love him more, is because he will fight for them. But they're taking on this savage kingdom, and the fight sequences, the use of stunts, and the use of just choreography on horseback are things that I've just never seen before and never thought of before when it comes to films like this. Usually you think of people riding on horseback with the long sword and just kind of slashing back and forth like this, but no, Baahubali here has two spears, and how he's spearing and flipping it around and spearing again. I've just never seen that before in a movie like this, and it was really impressive. Not to mention the whole slingshot of the cloth and the huge-ass tents onto the evil army, and then dousing it in kerosene, and then lighting that on fire to take out a huge section of them. Ingenious. There was just so much in regards to the style and the cinematography and the use of music and the epic music that we get in here and the fight choreography that just it made my eyes so happy, because I'd never seen it before on screen. And I love venturing out into different film mediums, and not just here in the States and in Hollywood where you can kind of get the same formulaic things over and over and over again. I love venturing out into different countries and different parts of the world to see what movies look like over there. And over in India, it's amazing. I'm going to keep watching as much as I can of Tollywood, Bollywood. I never even heard of Tollywood, and I was corrected in my review of RRR, so please forgive me. I'm learning here, so I believe this is Tollywood? I don't know, I'll get it right one of these days. I'm trying my best. And the music and the love ballads that we sing in here are actually very beautiful, and I love the studio shots of how it seems like it's outside, and it seems like, oh, it's very practical, and we're in the middle of the desert. And then when we go into these beautiful love ballads, it's clear that we're moving into a studio with waterfalls and fog machines and beautiful costuming and makeup everywhere. The whole courtmanship that they have with them fighting and kind of slowly stripping down into their bare skin. Love that stuff. I love that scene. Baahubali, the beginning, is quite a journey. I'm invested into these characters. I'm very excited to see what happens with these characters, going back to how these characters got to where they get in the second one and where they're at the end of this movie. Very looking forward to seeing what happens. But in the meantime, I'm going to give Baahubali, the beginning, 4 out of 5 Blu-rays.
I like it a lot.
So guys, have you seen Baahubali? What did you think about it? Or if you've never seen it before and you stumbled across it because of this video, then comment below, let me know what you thought about it. And as always, if you like what you see here, if you like my take on movies, then hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit that bell to know the next time I'm releasing next movie review. So guys, I will see you next time on the channel, but in the meantime, be well, be good to each other, and go watch a movie. Take care, guys.